Holy shit. He said what?
Breaking right now, it's Meghan Markle versus Martha Stewart as the real lifestyle doyen goes head to head with the great pretender.
Meghan, I don't really know very well, and I hope she knows what she's talking about. Authenticity to me is everything, and to be authentic and knowledgeable about your subject matter is extremely important.
You have to be authentic. Just be authentic. Did you see my baby mama dance? Mm-hmm.
Oh, pull it up, Jamie. Who's filming this?
Imagine this. One of the most legendary lifestyle moguls in the world, Martha Stewart, calmly and confidently destroys Meghan Markle's entire attempt at a lifestyle empire with just a few carefully chosen words. No drama, no shouting, just a subtle, savage remark that exposed Meghan's brand for what it really is, a hollow imitation. It's not often that someone with as much grace and poise as Martha Stewart delivers a knockout punch, but when she does, it's lethal. She didn't need to raise her voice or sling insults. Martha Stewart simply showed Meghan Markle how it's really done. What exactly happened? Well, let's break down the moment when the queen of home and lifestyle let Meghan know exactly where she stands in the food chain of influencers. Trust me, it's not where Meghan thought she was.
What is it like to watch other celebrities, Gwyneth Paltrow, Meghan Markle, going in your footsteps and following something that you've really started?
I don't mind. Good luck. Meghan, I don't really know very well.
That is such a classic and effective Martha Stewart burn. She's like, the other is a know-nothing faker who's just glomming onto me and my brand.
When Martha Stewart was asked about celebrities trying to build lifestyle brands like Gwyneth Paltrow and Meghan Markle, she handled it with her signature calmness and absolute precision. First, Martha praised Gwyneth Paltrow for her success with Goop. It was a genuine compliment, showing respect for someone who had built her empire with real expertise. But when it came to Meghan, Martha didn't need to say much. With a casual, almost indifferent tone, she said, "I don't really know Meghan very well," before adding that authenticity is everything. In just a few words, Martha made it clear Meghan's brand wasn't real. The power of Martha's response wasn't in what she said, but in what she didn't. She didn't attack Meghan's brand head-on or get caught up in drama. She simply pointed out the one thing that Meghan's entire career seemed to lack: authenticity. It was a quiet burn, one that hit harder than any headline could. For Meghan, whose whole persona had been built around this image of authenticity, Martha's words were a brutal reminder that people can see through the act. Meghan might have thought she could jump into the lifestyle game by mimicking others, but Martha showed exactly why you can't fake your way to the top, and that hit hard.
When we did our parody of Meghan's stupid Netflix show, trying to make herself into the next Martha Stewart, and we realized her one-pot pasta is just a blatant ripoff of Martha Stewart's one-pot pasta, which turned out to be like one of her most famous recipes. And it's honestly just like unabashed ripoff. I'm sure Martha's heard about it and is probably like, who is this fool trying to imitate that she's me, as she, out of the other side of her mouth, complains about how her castle is too small.
Meghan Markle's With Love Meghan was supposed to be her grand entrance into the lifestyle world. She'd crafted an image of herself as a relatable, down-to-earth figure, with a royal twist, ready to show the world her authentic life. The reality, it was anything but. Martha Stewart didn't need to watch the show to know what it was all about. Meghan's attempt at lifestyle TV seemed more like a desperate play for relevance than a genuine project. The show quickly became the target of ridicule. Viewers felt like they were watching a rehearsed performance, as Meghan tried too hard to convince everyone she was just like them, when in reality, she was just repackaging a carefully constructed image. Even Martha, who had built an empire through years of real expertise, couldn't help but throw some shade. She was polite, of course, but her comment about authenticity spoke volumes. It wasn't just the public who caught on. Critics like Michael Knowles pointed out the obvious contradiction. A show about Meghan trying to be real was filled with moments that screamed scripted. Meghan's Netflix deal tanked, and it didn't even crack the top 300 in the ratings. That failure confirmed what many had suspected from the beginning. Meghan was trying to sell an image that didn't quite match up with the real world, and Martha knew it. It's no secret that Meghan Markle has had her fair share of controversies, but one of the most laughable came when she blatantly ripped off one of Martha Stewart's signature recipes. Martha's famous one-pot pasta recipe had been a staple in her brand for years. It was simple, elegant, and and, most importantly, loved by millions. So when Meghan dropped her own version of the dish, it didn't take long for Martha's fans and critics to notice. It was essentially the same recipe. The only difference? Meghan slapped a royal label on it and presented it as if it was her own creation.
Where she is so lacking in class, and where I think Angela people would give her much more of a pass, is if she just say during the show, I've been really inspired by Martha Stewart. I look up to her. Clearly, I'm now trying to do a similar thing. This is my version of her iconic recipe. And I think people would respect that. Give credit where credit's due. There's nothing worse than people stealing ideas, but I think it comes from her complete lack of confidence because she knows she's a pretender. She can't really cook. She doesn't really cook.
Martha, being the classy icon she is, didn't directly call out Meghan's plagiarism, but the message was clear. Meghan wasn't just copying a recipe, she was copying the very essence of someone else's brand and trying to pass it off as her own. For Martha, who had spent decades building a genuine, recognizable empire, this was more than just a recipe. It was an insult to her work. And the worst part, Meghan didn't even bother to put her own spin on it. She just repackaged it, hoping no one would notice. This moment was a perfect metaphor for everything wrong with Meghan's approach to her brand. She wasn't creating something new or authentic. She was ripping off the original and expecting it to succeed. But as Martha would say, you can't fake it, especially when the originals are still running the game. Meghan Markle has always tried to sell herself as the hardworking, relatable queen of authenticity. But behind the polished image, the truth is far less glamorous. Take her cooking segments. Meghan acts like a home chef, making gourmet meals in a pristine kitchen. The catch? She's not actually cooking. That's not her knife slicing those vegetables or her hands stirring the pot. It's a team of chefs and assistants doing the real work, while Meghan simply poses with the finished dish. The problem? Meghan's selling an image of authenticity, but it's all fake. Martha Stewart spent decades building her empire with real knowledge and hard work. Meghan, however, is playing dress up. She's all about the look without the substance. While Martha mastered her craft, Meghan is busy trying to sell the idea of mastering, and that's where the cracks show. People aren't dumb. They can tell when someone's genuinely invested and when they're just pretending. Meghan's attempt to show real work is just another carefully staged scene, but in reality, it's nothing more than a shallow performance, and Martha knows it.
Martha Stewart has actually updated her recipe just last month when she knew what was going on to say the original and the best in the description.
She's just someone, cooked up a few dishes and thinks that makes her an expert at cookery, at entertaining, at all things domestic. It's rubbish, isn't it?
Meghan Markle's entire brand has been one big rebranding project, constantly shifting from one identity to the next. First, it was the perfect princess persona as a duchess, then a passionate activist, and now a lifestyle expert trying to conquer the home and cooking space. The problem? None of it sticks. She's jumped from one project to the next, jams, blogs, Netflix shows, each time with a new angle. But the consistency? It's non-existent. Every time Meghan pivots, it's more obvious she's just chasing whatever's trending. The problem isn't that she's trying new things, it's that she's not backing any of them with real passion or substance. Her ventures are like empty boxes, shiny on the outside, but nothing inside. From selling expensive dog biscuits to pretending to cook, each new venture feels like a desperate attempt to keep the spotlight, even if it means repeating the same old tricks. Martha Stewart, on the other hand, didn't need constant rebranding. She built her legacy with real expertise and genuine passion. No need to chase the next big thing. Meghan's brand, though, it's a revolving door of failed ideas, never finding its true identity. The cycle of reinvention is the true crisis. It's not that she's failing, it's that she doesn't even know who she really is. Meghan Markle's entire career hinges on the idea of authenticity, yet it's the one thing she's never truly been able to pull off. She's always positioning herself as the real voice, the down-to-earth, royal-turned-lifestyle guru. But when you dig deeper, it's clear. This authenticity is just a well-rehearsed performance. Take her Netflix docuseries. It was filled with moments that were clearly staged to appear spontaneous, but everything felt too perfect, too calculated. Meghan's whole strategy is about selling a real persona, the woman who defies the system, who speaks her truth, and who's all about connecting with people. But in reality, she's been caught multiple times fabricating or repackaging her life to look like something it's not. Whether it's a hand-picked struggle to appear relatable or a series of perfectly staged photo shoots, her authenticity is always conveniently timed when the cameras are on. It's all smoke and mirrors.
With Love Meghan was basically a sort of feeble festival of fruit and vegetable cutting, wasn't it? Just hours and hours of it.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up because it's one of my favorite.
Trick that people do with pineapple, instead of just cutting it to make the perfect little bite, you follow the wedge. When nature has given you all the cues on how to have a perfect taste of something.
Oh, how fun is that? I love it.
I like working hard.
This woman is being paid millions of dollars to show how to cut into a pineapple.
Meanwhile, Martha Stewart didn't need to sell authenticity because it was part of her DNA. Her brand was built on decades of real work, not playing to an audience's expectations of what they want to see. Meghan might be trying to ride the wave of relatability, but no one's buying the act anymore. When you market yourself as authentic and your entire career is built on contrived moments, you've lost the plot. People can sense when it's fake. And right now, Meghan's selling a version of authenticity that doesn't exist. Meghan Markle's entire career trajectory has been tied to one golden ticket, Prince Harry. It's no secret that her connection to the royal family is the cornerstone of her fame, and she's expertly used Harry to maintain her position in the spotlight. When things go south with one of her projects, what does she do? She doubles down on her relationship with Harry to keep the media buzzing. Every time her ventures fail, Meghan pulls Harry back into the mix, almost as if he's a backup plan for her fading relevance. Whether it's interviews, appearances, or her social media posts, Harry is always by her side, acting as the reliable narrative anchor she can rely on. It's as if Harry is her personal PR machine, boosting her image every time her business ventures fall flat. She knows she needs him to maintain the royal mystique that originally catapulted her into the public eye, and she isn't shy about milking it. It's almost unnatural how much Meghan leans into her relationship with Harry, like she's using him to maintain an illusion of importance. Martha Stewart, meanwhile, built her empire on her own merit, never needing anyone else's fame or connections to make her name. Meghan's constant use of Harry in her narrative shows how dependent she is on external validation, while Martha's success has been built from within, purely on skill and hard work. It's a major difference, and it's becoming more obvious by the day.
I think I'm in love with her because she also trolled the Blue Origin crew after they went up there and literally wanted us to call them astronauts. And that was my inspo for my trolling that I did with Maureen and my stylist and friend Sarah, where we went up on our own space flight, quote unquote, and also became, quote, astronauts. Because Martha trolled them by posting her own zero gravity flight. And she's like, hey, let's not forget about this. She's pretty savage, Martha Stewart.
At the end of the day, Meghan Markle's brand is all smoke and mirrors, constantly shifting, never truly authentic, and built on someone else's coattails. She's tried every trick in the book to stay relevant, but the cracks in her image are starting to show. Whether it's fake cooking or relying on Harry for her next big media moment, she's proving time and time again that authenticity can't be faked. Meanwhile, Martha Stewart remains the undisputed queen of the lifestyle world, building her empire on real knowledge, passion, and skill. No need for constant rebranding or royal connections. So what do you think? Is Meghan ever going to break out of this cycle, or has she truly lost the plot? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to dive deeper into Meghan's ongoing drama, check out my previous video. Trust me, it's a must-watch. Things are heating up in the Meghan Markle saga, and you don't want to miss it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more brutally honest takes like this one. Stay tuned for more.